Traction and distractions. Let's talk about it. So, traction in our life. When we have traction in our life, we are moving forward. We feel like we're accomplishing something. We're in our groove, maybe. Maybe that's the old term, but you know what I mean. We're moving forward. So, every time you have traction in your life and you're working for a specific purpose that God have assigned you to, you will always have distractions. And when I say distractions, I'm not talking about serving other people, helping other people, listening to other people, talking with other people. I'm not talking about the things that we know we have to help others and serve others. So I want to clarify that. But you're going to have distractions. And what kind of distractions am I talking about it? But before I get into that, let me say, even if you have the traction, what are you moving towards or working towards? And who are you working for? Why are you working and doing what you're doing, or whatever that assignment is? So I want to go with Luke 12 and 34 for my foundation. My scripture today is, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So I want to get that in because that's the source of my life, the Word of God. So I want to say, whatever your attraction is, make sure that it is positive, good, helping others, helping yourself, So I want to make sure the heart is in the right place, because wherever your attraction is, that's your treasure. So make sure it's in the right place. But before I want to say this, the have a plan for your life. So let's say you already got your plan, you already have your assignment. I'm talking about if you don't have a plan for your life, you don't even know what your traction is, your focus is, you gotta have a plan. You have to create a plan, because if you don't create a plan, someone else is going to create a plan for you. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying they're going to write it out for you, implement it for you. I'm saying that their plan, their distractions, their adversity, their pain, and their struggles on a daily basis will become your plan. So you have to create a plan for your. I always say, have a plan and work your plan. So when you do encounter, and you will, interruptions, distractions, you still have something that you're going to be focused on. What distractions I'm not talking about? So I don't know. I'm gonna sum it up in two ways. I'm gonna say internal distractions and external distractions. And by external distractions, you kind of know what those are. It could be telephone calls, emails, texts, noise, events, a lot of things going on. The world got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of events. It's 24/7, 365. So they can be, if you're not really in tune to what you're focused on, and understand that the things around you, if they're not helping you to get closer to where you are trying to go, those can be distractions. Now, am I talking about the text message that you get, or the phone calls you get, or something that somebody need your help? I'm not talking about, you got to know when to serve, when to help, and then you have to know, when you need to say no. That the song, you got to know, I think it was Kenny Rogers, you got to know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Kind of like that. So, sort of. Internal distractions. That can be like the things you play over and over in your head, like ruminations. things that you might have messed up in the past about, things you didn't do right. You didn't pass this exam. You didn't do this right. You hurt this person. Oh my God, I did. I messed up when I was younger. I messed up when I was, I did something really, really bad in my past. Well, stop playing those things over and over in your head. Make peace with that and move forward. And I want to pause here just for a minute, because when I say make peace with that, I asked God some years ago. I didn't really understand. I was just in a really, I'm like, what am I living for? I was like, this thing with life. I was like, what am I living for? Come on. What am I supposed to be doing? Why am I in so much pain? Why that every time I think I'm making 3 steps forward, I'm going backwards? Why all of these why? So I was so broken one day. This was years ago, and I said, God, I want you to help me make peace with my past. What am my purpose of being here? And there was one more. Make peace with my past. What's my purpose of being here? And oh God, I don't know what the other one was at this moment, but it was 3 things, and I was thinking, oh my God, you asked God to help you make peace with your past, and what is your purpose of being here? And when I tell you, when I asked those questions, I had no idea what I was asking. But anyways, it turned out to be okay, because I understood. I did make some peace with my past. And that could be a whole nother video with another subject for another day. But I feel like he helped me to make peace with my past. And I was able to move forward. And he showed me my purpose, which I was really already doing. But I thought that I had to be all straight, cleared up, in the perfect place in life for me to encourage someone else. I'm gonna encourage someone else, and I'm still going through my own stuff. Well, guess what? You're gonna always be going through something, but those are the things that you can help the next person with. So those external things, make peace with them. Stop playing them over and over in your head. If you didn't do well on something in the past, if you hurt somebody in the past, maybe you did something, I know it might be something that's a little bit more deeper, and you had to pay the consequences for it. Well, but you still can move forward even with that, so stop playing those internal distractions over and over in your head. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I want to know if you are in traction for your life, and it could be you're trying to work on a higher education. You may be trying to pay off bills. You may be trying to say, God, okay, I don't know, it may be mission work. Whatever that traction is for your life, and when I say traction, I'm talking about your assignment in life, or whatever it is that you're doing in life. And if you are making progress with it, that's pretty much what I'm talking about. And that's, again, I can go back to, I started this YouTube channel, and I'm like, God, well, I did tea time in the past, one-on-one in group setting, but I ain't trying to go in front of no camera and try to talk about or share with other people. Well, I'm over that. I asked God, I'm moving towards the fear. Even now, yeah, this is very scared, but guess what? Y'all, we can do this. Whatever that is you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. Do not ever, ever, ever give up, even if it's hard and you think that, okay, well, it's not meant to be, because this is not happening. This is not happening. No. Sometimes you have to stay at it. If you know that you're doing the thing that you do, so your heart is so passionate about, don't ever give up. You may have to the stage or the way in which you do your assignment may change. And what I mean by that is, I used to do tea time one-on-one. I'll pack up all my teacups. I go out and I encourage people if they were trying to get a divorce or maybe headed for divorce, like, okay, pause for a moment, let's talk about it. Or if they were dealing with all type of situations. So, and you may have to change it. Like now, I got, okay, doing this on, like I said, on YouTube. So you got to change it up sometimes. You got to know when. And I want to read past this paragraph from this book called First You Have to Row a Little Boat. Bear with me because I want to read this and come back to what I was talking about when staying on traction. The skills I acquired, this is called First You Have to Row a Little Boat. Now, this little book here is about life and life reflections. It may not be for you, but I take this little book with me wherever I go now, and I just kind of read little passages from it. It's about a sailor and how he used his life as a sailor to understand and navigate life and grow, and how you grow, pretty much how you can grow and learn different skills. And to have one skill, you really need to have the foundation. You have to have the basic skills. So the skills I acquired as a sailor served me well, but they gave me a sense of pace, which I might not otherwise possess. I see people all about me who have never developed an adequate inner clock and who are never at one with the wind because of it. The frantic individual tacks too soon, jumping from job to job, friendship to friendship, spouse to spouse, losing headway at every turn. The obtuse individual remains on the same track, on the same tack is what he called it for sailing, too long, investing too much time, talent, and energy in a course that takes him far from his avowed objective. But the seasoned sailor stays on the same path, the same tack, as long as it appears advantageous, and then at the appropriate moment pushes the tiller toward the sail and deftly changes directions. And what is he saying here? I want to tie this into traction. You have to know when, like I said, to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. But if you're on traction for that thing, which is a good thing in your life, don't give up. He said that he's talking about how, they walk away. You give up too quickly. Don't give up so quickly. And then those who may not be on doing, if you think that you're not on the path that you're supposed to be on, then you do need to take a look at that and start thinking about if it's time to fold them. I like the way Kenny Rogers said that. If it's time to fold them. I remember years ago, when I first asked God, help me to make peace with my past. What is my purpose of being here? There was a lot of car accidents going on in my life. I wasn't causing the accidents. Others was causing the accidents. It's one situation. I was driving, and this young mother with her baby in the car, she hit me in the back. She hit the back of my car. And so when I got out to talk, try to see what was going on, she begged me, please, don't call the cops. And I didn't. At that point, I'm like, okay, I didn't. I feel bad because she didn't have insurance, and I didn't. So there was another situation where the car was coming head on at me. And I'm like, so I got over, I was able to move over. And then there was a time when my car got totaled out. So I was just like, okay, so I just found out what my purpose is in life. And that's encouragement. This was years ago. And so I'm thinking, like, what is going on? So I have this called my T sister. One of my T sisters, I called her, and she let me speak with her mother. And her mother was telling me that, okay, God has a plan for you in your life. And whenever God has a plan for you in your life, are you on the path that he wants you on? The enemy is trying to kill, steal, and destroy, right? So trying to take me out. So I'm thinking, and I received that. I'm thinking like, now how am I do what you need me to do? if I get taken out? Because I'm like, how that work? So, anyways, I did not jump ship. I did stay on course. I said, okay, if you want me to do this encouragement thing, I'm gonna do it. So that was years ago when I started with the tea time. I had such a passion for tea when I was a little girl, and my grandmother and I don't know. I remember dipping toast in the tea, and we just had tea moments, right? So, and it wasn't called tea time, honey. My grandma just wanted some tea, and I fixed her some tea, and at the same time, I got tea. It wasn't like, oh, we sitting down, we having tea time. No, it wasn't like that. That was that Lipton tea. You put in that cup, and you drank the tea. And it wasn't, the thought process wasn't even there, like, oh, I'm having tea with my grandmother. Now, today, I understand what that means. So, if you have a grandmother, and go ahead and have some tea time with them, or coffee time, whatever that is, for you, whatever your beverage is. Um, so I remember I stayed on the course and it was uneasy because I'm like, well, why is all this bad stuff happening to me now that I'm okay, God, I'm in tune to what you want me to do. So I want to make sure I'm covering everything because I don't want the video to go too long. So let's kind of recap. You got to know if you're on traction. You have to stay focused, and you need to be mindful of distractions, those external ones and internal distractions. If you're not sure about your assignment in life or what you're doing in life, is like, okay, am I even making a difference in life? And you want to ponder that for a moment, then go in a quiet space, talk with God, and just ask Him, what is my purpose of being here? What am I here for? I'm talking about His specific purpose for you in the midst of doing all other stuff that you like to do. So, and just if you're not on the path that you think that you should be on, then you might want to go ahead on and change it up, fold it and move on to the thing that God has you to do. So find out, when I was read about in the little boat, the book, first you have to row a little boat. There's a word in there called tiller in this book, and it helps to steer the boat. Ask yourself, who's steering your life? Who is steering your boat? Who is guiding your path? That would be a good question to start with. Is everything going to be perfect? No. Matter of fact, when you do find out what that is, all external things for sure is going to be distracting you. But there's an inner peace that God gives you in the midst of whatever is going on. So remember that, whatever is going on. And remember, when you do have traction, you're going to have peace. Even though you may have adversity and challenges, you will have peace in the midst of it. Keep some balance with what you're working on also. Yes, we have to serve others, but you have got to take care of yourself. That's this thing with, if people like I said, they're going to have a plan for you. If you don't have a plan, they're going to have one for you. Remember that. That's a big one, y'all. It really is. And sometimes you just have to say no to some things. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I covered the main parts. So know when to stay on track, know when to walk away. And I think that's it. So like this video. If it's not for you, share it because it could help someone else. Subscribe to my channel as I grow. I'm just asking God to give me the things to say. I got so much I want to say, but I got to just pause it, slow it down, and just share what He is having me to share. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, share with others, and between 10 and 3, I don't know, between 10 and 3. I think I got it in the descriptions too. Let's just take a moment out of our week and remember the scripture, Luke 12:3. Find out where your treasure is. Wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is. Wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure is. So, and I don't know, sometimes treasures, you open that box, it ain't what you want it to be. So remember, try to find your path. Don't ever duplicate. Don't try to imitate. Just be you. And everybody ain't gonna like you, and everybody ain't gonna receive what you're saying, but you gotta find out what that is and do it. So I'm gonna sign off with peace and tea time. And look in the description, it tells you what tea time is. Bye bye.